Hi Steve, talking after a disappointing 2-1 loss home to Leiston. Game that had quite a lot of everything really, a couple of penalties, one hotly contested and perhaps one possible penalty for us. But I'm not going to draw you too much on the referee decisions or anything, but what did you make of that game?
I think it was there for us to lose it. I thought, they definitely had the upper hand in the first half, but strangely enough we got ourselves 1-0 up. Very, very similar to the game at Walton on Tuesday. We're not particularly playing flowing football, I've got to be honest with you, but the first half I thought Dimmy, Carl and Ron were awesome, and they really did just make sure that we kept a clean sheet, and we built on it. And then really we want the team to sort of come out, express themselves just that little bit more. But it's a very frustrating time, this moment in time. I mean, the upheaval with losing players and injured lads, it's not helpful, but we're not going to be the only ones that sort of are getting lads injured. Obviously we had Dimmy that had to come off, but Joe Welch, who's an incredible goalkeeper and what an unbelievable replacement, has made 3 great saves. Adam Murray hasn't started because he had a stiff neck and he's had COVID. But it's very upsetting and unsettling. I'm looking at Carl Menser now walking by, sort of with a groin strain as well, and that flow just never come. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, the flow that we've had in previous years hasn't been here this year, and it's concerning. The lads are good footballers, but the word was before the game, basics, making sure that they're done better. I think they weren't, especially in our final third, I think we've got to create a lot more. We've got to have a lot more opportunities from the ability that the lads have got up top.
Yeah, and you mentioned there that the injury list has grown a little longer. So Carl's is a groin, and Dimmy, any early signs?
Well, Dimmy's got concussion. He looks in a bad way. He's going up to Leicester Hospital now. The lips probably would need a stitch or two. As I said previously, I mean, a positive is that we have got Joe Welch, who's an excellent goalkeeper. I've decided to go with Dimmy, and Dimmy has definitely justified that, in my opinion. But at the same time, Joe Welch has been fantastic in regards to how he's dealt with everything, and he's made 3 unbelievable saves that arguably kept us in the game, and didn't stretch the lead anymore for him.
Yeah, and I think I tweeted after the Tamworth game that inconsistency raised its head, and I think it's happened again. At the moment we're going through a period of win one, then lose one, then win one, then draw one, or then win one. Probably $1 million question, and if you knew this, I think you'd already be doing it. But how are we going to get that consistency?
Yeah, and like, as you say, I can hear you asking the question, and I'm like sort of my mind is swirling around for an answer. I think if I did have one, obviously we would be implementing it. The thing that we have said to the lads is try and keep things a little bit more basic. And as I say, I'm not giving the lads a get out or anything like that, but I mean the upheaval of losing players, main really important players, and having to sort of put sort of square pegs in round holes, if you like, it hasn't been easy. The consistency hasn't been quite there. I will add that I think Brandon Adams and myself had a long conversation, and maybe had a bit about his failings, but at the same time his finishing was superb. Unlucky that he didn't get the first one, but definitely got the second one. He is a fantastic finisher, and I'd love him to carry on in that vein of more shots, probably less assists, but what I say with Brandon, he's took it on board well, you know, and I think Matty with, you know, his 2 goals against Walton, you know, is going in the right direction. You know, with the front 2 in particular, but we need to probably get a little bit more creativity behind them. We need to get a few more, you know, crosses so that they can get more opportunities. You know, and that's for the rest of the lads, you know, the wide lads in particular, to start nailing.
And obviously 2 more additions to the injury list. How is that looking? Ed still a little way off, and Spiros?
I think they're not going to be far, and I think probably us having a, you know, sort of a free week will sort of hopefully, you know, sort of get them at least closer, possibly on the bench. So, you know, 2 important players here, and so we could need it, you know. But having said that, you know, that's 2 players added, which, you know, sort of, and then 2 players that you're probably looking at are struggling, which will be Carl Mensah and Dimmy. Yeah. So yeah, hey, listen, you know, the way everything is at this moment in time, you know, it's not all doom and gloom, but I mean, like, sort of, it's, you know, you're expecting lads to, you know, sort of and have a full squad to pick from, and it just isn't happening at this moment in time.
All right, and we're off to Stourbridge next week. Hopefully turn that into a win, and then push on from there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously the cups are going okay, and obviously we, you know, got ourselves into a semi-final with by beating Walton on the Tuesday. You know, we've got Harpenden in the Herts County Cup, so I mean that's going to be an opportunity after we've got Stourbridge. But yeah, I mean, like, sort of and you know, we want to just keep on getting some sort of or you know, strive for a consistency, and Stourbridge away would be a really tough game, but you know, one that we can, you know, sort of look to turn around.